Hey guys, we're going to talk about my M3, specifically what I paid for it and how I came to own this M3. So about a year ago, I guess it was probably January, I decided, you know what, I want a V8 powered M3, and I began my search. Started looking on Craigslist and Auto Trader and cars.com. My only requirement for an M3 was that I wanted it to have no sunroof, which meant a carbon fiber roof that looks freaking gorgeous if you get a coupe, or if you get a sedan, it would be just the flat aluminum roof with no sunroof, because I don't think sports sedans or sports cars should have sunroofs. You might disagree, but that's my opinion. So looking at M3s, I mean, there's a lot of them for sale. There's no shortage of E92 and E90 M3s. However, wanting the sunroof, it did take a bit of effort. If it's a black car, a dark colored car, you really couldn't tell right away by looking at the pictures if it had a carbon fiber roof or not. If it was a light colored sedan, then it was easy to tell. But you know, if it was black or dark gray, not so easy, which meant that I had a lot of VIN numbers that I was decoding, especially with the sedans, because and depending on the the angles that people would take pictures of these things, you couldn't always see if they had a sunroof or not. You wouldn't see that outline of the weather stripping on top on those cars. So lots and lots of research, and I would find these cars, but I had this price range, so I was looking to spend a little over 30 for a good one. And a lot of the ones that I found were across the country in California and that sort of thing, and they were selling relatively quick at that price range, regardless of the miles, if it had 50,000 or 100,000. But I just really couldn't. I was not in a position to travel across the country for one of these. I wanted to find one semi-local. I'm outside of DC in Northern Virginia. I would travel down to, like, say, North Carolina, possibly South Carolina, maybe New York for one of these, but I'm not trying to jump on a plane, as cool as I guess that would be, to go across country and drive one of these back. But those that popped up in the area would sell relatively quick. I mean, I went to probably half a dozen dealers that had one of these, and they were there for sometimes only a matter of hours before they would get picked up by either somebody that worked at the dealer or somebody else that saw it. And I mean, I can't tell you how frustrating it became to find one of these in the area. I went to a couple of dealers where I'd see the listing pop up. They closed by the time I got off work, and I say, hey, I'm going to come by in the morning and check it out. And I get there the next morning and they'll say, oh, well, sorry, it's already got a deposit on it, or it's sold. And I was just having the worst luck. I mean, I can't tell you how frustrating it became. One day I'm searching, I think it was cars.com, whichever one has the free listing, and this came up. It was kind of like crappy iPhone photos. The guy had it parked outside of his house up in Maryland, and it was listed at, I want to say $24,000 was the list price. So I was like, holy crap, this is definitely within the price range. Just check it out and see what's up with it. So I immediately call the guy, and he tells me that he's the single owner. He bought it brand new from VOB in Maryland. He had it serviced by them until it was out of warranty, in which case from there on he had it serviced by S2 Dynamics, which is also in Maryland. And he went through all the things that had been replaced. Lots of little things on him just before he got rid of it. He had a new clutch put in. Being that this is an 08, the 09 Plus had different clutch styles or clutch designs, and you cannot buy 08 clutch hardware anymore, to my understanding. So he ended up updating it to the 09 style clutch, which is a plus. I think he spent $2,500 or something on that, and had a new fuel pump put in it, a host of other things. So the car checked out to me. I went up that night into Maryland. We met up in the freezing cold in a parking garage to check out the car. It was completely stock at the time. It did not look like this. If you guys are watching this video, my video for the first time, it did not look like this when I bought it. It was totally stock. Inside is fox red. It had the aluminum trim. It was basically a mild build. It did not have the hi-fi stereo, but it did not have the premium stereo, but the hi-fi stereo in this. And you can tell hi-fi by the these speakers here, I guess if you have these, it means you have the hi-fi, which is a mid-grade, and I think it sounds really good. Unfortunately, it does not have the HD radio, which is kind of a bummer, but you know, it is what it is. So no park distance control. It does have the 6-speed manual, a carbon fiber roof, and it does have the EDC, which at first I thought was kind of gimmicky, but truth be told, it works, and I like it a lot, and kind of get more into that later. So yeah, the car checked out. He was asking 24. I was like, you know what, screw it, the price is good. I'm going to try to negotiate with him. Want to go ahead, and I went ahead that same night and applied for a auto loan with Lightstream. And if you're not familiar with Lightstream, they're very easy to get auto loans through. You just say what you're going to buy. They send you a approval with an interest rate, and you get to pick your term and all that. So I ended up getting cash from Lightstream. I think the next day, took out the cash, went up to meet with the guy on, I think it was a Thursday. I'm kind of changing my position of this GoPro. I'm holding it on a stabilizer, but it's kind of windy, and I feel like the GoPro is getting pushed to the right just a little bit, so I apologize for that. Yeah, so I'm driving back up there with another buddy to check it out, my buddy Sean, who is a mechanic, and we listened again for sounds of rod knock, which on these cars, what they tell you to do is to rev the car slowly from like 3,000 to 5,000 RPM while standing right around here and seeing if you can hear some noise. I won't really go into what exactly you're supposed to listen for, but rod bearings are a thing on these cars that you should definitely be aware of. So the guy calls me as we're driving up there. We're maybe like 10 minutes from there, from where we're going to do the deal. And he's like, hey, the check engine light came on the way over. Do you still want to check it out? And at that point, I was so stoked for it, getting this sort of a deal, and had a negotiation already in mind. I was like, yeah, in my mind, I'm going to negotiate even more now. And that's exactly what I did. The car drove fine with the check engine light. Unfortunately, I didn't have anything to scan the codes to know exactly what it was, but I had already become familiar with possible issues. The biggest one it could have probably been was throttle actuators, which are about $1,000 a piece. There's 2 of them on this car, and if you take it to a dealer, you can look at $3,000 easily. Maybe a little bit less depending on where you get it. But anyway, I already had that in mind. So with that, I ended up talking him down from $24,000 to $21,000 because, hey, I've got cash in hand. You're looking to sell it. And worst case, it's $3,000. And that's exactly how it worked out. I paid $21,000 cash for this. We did the exchange in a freezing cold parking garage out of a mall off of 270 in Maryland. I forget the name of it. It might have been Montgomery Mall or something like that. Anyway, that's it, man. I ended up with the E92 M3 for $21,000 with 117,000 miles on it. It was in, I would say, good, fair to good condition. Nothing major, a little bit cosmetic here and there. It had, it was hit in the front. Somebody backed into the front of the car. So the front bumper is brand new, or was new. You can tell it's maybe not the best paint job. It's got some scuff marks down there, and it's got some marks right in the middle. Sorry, I'm on a GoPro and trying to hold this thing. It's got some marks right in the middle, but the hood, the headlights, the fenders, all that original, just the front bumper. And on the rear bumper, you know, your typical scars from like parallel parking and such. Couple marks right down there, probably some love taps and marks from other license plates, but that's it. $21,000 for this. I immediately went out and pulled the codes the next day with Sean. The check engine light has not came back. We did do a software update on the car. I bought a new throttle actuator just in case, out of BMW of Fairfax. And I know you guys are probably seeing that right now saying, what's that? These are scars from and this will all come off, but track day I might have slid into a cone having some fun. But yeah, the point of this was to tell you how I acquired it and what I paid for it. There it was, $21,000. I bought an essentially stock E92 M3 that had the Euro bumper, or not Euro bumper, but a new front bumper on it. The rest of it was totally stock, and it's been great since. I've got Dynon exhaust, the EC7 wheels by Apex, the StopTech 6-piston ST60 kit, the eBay carbon fiber front splitters. I did install, I picked up a set of some interior trim similar to what I had in my E46 M3, which I really enjoy. And oh, it's got Swift springs on it, so that's why it sits like it does. And on the topic of suspension, I had just ordered a couple days ago Bilstein's Damptronic EDC. I'm gonna hold the GoPro again. Oh, sorry for the shake on this. I just feel like it's a little bit too wobbly. Google's gonna say, hey, would you like to stabilize this or correct the shakiness, whatever. We'll see. But yeah, I just picked up Bilstein EDC dampers for the front and rear, and I do have another track event on February 5th, so fingers crossed that those dampers arrive in time for me to install them. It might end up being a late night on February 4th to get this ready, but I'm doing it. And yeah, so again, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate all the views, all the comments. If you want me to answer any questions about the car, I will be more than happy to. And there it is. The most, well, second to my NSX, the most awesome car I've owned to date. All right, guys, thanks for watching. See ya.